Sir, thank you. Harsh Patel, big sir. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Uh, can you hear my voice, right? The screen and all. Is there any issues? Think no, I guess. Okay. So today we are going to learn about the DLL hijacking techniques. Okay. The DLL injection, DLL side loading. So there are many techniques to do that. But before moving to this, type of attacks, we need to learn how the basic DLL works, and how can we create the loader to load that particular DLL, and then even the DLL, how do we create it from scratch, right? So over here, I'll walk through you by uh, throughout the process, so how we can try to set up your own lab to do such kind of things. First of all, just open the Chrome and then you can click on this, the winlibs.com, okay, over here. So this is the standalone build for GCC compilers for Windows 64-bit versions, okay. So come over here, I'll paste this link into the comment section, and then just come down, and then you can see the downloads section, right? So just click on GCC 14, so with the latest version, and then select any one of those, like 7-zip or zip archive maybe. So you can copy this, okay? Just try this link. So just try to paste this, download that 64-bit version, okay, the main one. And then after that, you need to edit the system environment variables. So it is easy, right? Just come to here and just type add environment, just type env, edit environment variables over here, and then click on environment variables, and then click under the system variables, click on the path section, okay, and then click on edit, and click on new over here, and after clicking on new, browse to these three directories, okay, the main bin folder, the root folder, and the other one folder, okay, x86 64w main. So these three folders you need to add it to your path, okay. Yeah, like even if you enter the bin folder, it's okay, but for no, like for more other issues which can consist in like further while compiling, so it's better to add the all these three parts of the folder, okay, and then click on OK, and then just click on OK, and then click on apply button, okay. So I didn't did any changes, so I'll just click on OK. So then your setup is ready to compile those stuffs. Now come on the desktop folder and create a folder called as DLL or DLL learning, DLL hijacking, and that kind of stuffs. And then you and then open the Windows command prompt, okay. So this command prompt I've installed from the Microsoft store. So if you type terminal over here, you will get many the advanced and the beautiful view of this kind of terminal. So just type over here terminal, click on terminal, and then download this third option or first option, maybe whichever you like, okay. So I've downloaded this the preview one of the app developers tool, which is of 5.0 rating, okay. Just install this and open this. So what you can do is that you get one drop down arrow over here, so you can select any one of those, okay, like command prompt, the Windows PowerShell, the developer command prompt, if you have installed the Visual Studio, right, and then you are getting the Azure Cloud Shell. So just click PowerShell, and then navigate to your directory, okay. So this is the first step which we all need to do, okay. After that, to check whether your GCC or the GCC compilation is successful or not, just type GCC. So you will get over the fatal error no input file. So that means that our GCC has been successfully installed. You can just type G++ for CPP files, and GCC hyphen hyphen version. I guess it is on the hyphen version, RS. 5 version. So as you can see, it is the latest one, the 14.2.0. Okay, so we know, right, we have already installed the GCC compiler. We have installed the terminal for this. Even if you want, you can try with the normal command prompt, right? So it will also work over there. Okay, no doubts in that. It totally depends upon. So now after coming to this, we need to create the two files. Okay, so first we're going to practice from the scratch, right? How we can try to do like DLL loading and all. So first you need to create one program called as loader.cpp. So if you all know the C programming or C++, it's almost the same. Then you all might be knowing like what I've typed over. So first of all, I'm creating an H module instance for this particular DLL. Okay, so I'll be loading a particular DLL. So you can give the particular name for it. As in future, we'll going to create this particular DLL into this folder. So I've created one file over here also. I'll come back to this. And then after coming over here, I've included the windows.h to use the Windows APIs called like load library, then create process, and there are many other stuffs. And then free. So if you all want to learn this, you can come over here and just type Windows, yeah, Microsoft C++. So get started with this. So you will see many of the API over here. So I'll just click on this editor programming. Then you can start learning from here, or else like if you don't know what this particular this API is doing, so I can just copy this and then I can just come over here and just paste this. Okay, so I can see like it shows me it is a particular function to loads the specified module into the address space of calling process. So it loads a particular library into the particular process. So we can see the like syntax and the return value or the value which we need to like aspect it like. Okay, so it is called as H module. So we have this over here, H module, and I've created it is HDLL. So you all can name it even as DLL. So it is as same like as int A, int B. Okay, so this is a type of it. So it is of type H module. Okay, and then I say load library A and the name of the library. Okay, and then we have this particular variable in which it holds the address, or we can say the particular data type of that DLL. Now I'm trying to check it whether if I've successfully load it or not. So it is so I'm saying if DLL, so if that particular value is true or particular one or something like that or zero, it will going to go according to it, and it will going to load it and say DLL loaded successfully, else we have failed to load the DLL and will throw the get last error. So even if you don't know what the get last error is, you just copy this, come over here, and then come over here and new tab and just paste. Okay, so it will automatically show you the learn Microsoft page, and they are having the ton of the information about this Windows API. So we can see the d word get last error, so it will going to return the last error code. So the error code can be in the form of like anything. For an example, in the web applications we have it like 200. Okay, then 401, 403, 501, the server internal error. So there are for Windows also there are many other error codes. So you can say Windows error codes over here. So it will going to list you all the error codes from that particular size. So the first error code is that invalid function, file not found for 0x2 and all. Okay, so these are all the error codes. Okay, so even if you get this kind of error, then you can see that particular error and come to this error codes and have look like what the error is exactly there. Okay, coming back to this, um, so I've explained you, right, and now what is free library? So free library is nothing but after loading it and doing all kind of particular functions or processes on it, we are trying to free that particular address into the memory. Okay, so we are trying to release that DLL back to its original state or remove that connection like between them. Okay, so we do free library for that. Now we know, right, like what exactly this code is doing. So this is trying to look for the DLL in the current directory and try to load this, and then coming to DLL main. Okay, over here. So now this is the DLL code. Okay, how do we write DLL in C, right, or C++? So this is the basic structure of it. So first we create the data type, or we can say the boolean. So this particular function will going to return true or false, and because it is mandatory for it for API entry DLL main. So there are many kind of APIs entry. So we are trying to choose it for the DLL main. Okay, so in DLL main it expects us like three arguments which are required to pass. The first one is H module. Okay, though you all don't need to remember this, even if you will type this on Google like DLL main function, so you will get these arguments, right? So we'll first try to see what these functions are, or we can see the parameters are. So H module, it is required to know that this is a DLL main because we are passing the three arguments. The second one is the most important for us right now, because the second one is divert ul reason for call. Okay, so, and the third one is LP result. So the main thing is that you all need to focus on this. So this is the main part of this particular DLL. So this holds the actual reason why we are calling the DLL. So now whenever we load this DLL, right, so now why we are loading it, the reason for call. Okay, so that reason for call variable is passed into the switch case. So if you all know C programming, you all be knowing what are the switch cases are. So switch case is nothing but it is like an advanced version of if else. Even we can try to do if else over here, but I've used like switch cases. Okay, so yes, we are passing the first argument as the UL reason for call, or even you can cut it out and just say as a reason. And then we are trying to check whether the first case which we are getting as a DLL process attached. So DLL process attached is a built-in variable which consists of some external Windows API function calling. So in DLL process attached, we are checking whether we can like why this process is been attached. So whenever we try to set this case, right, so we are trying to say and pop up a message box saying that loaded successfully, and this is of type notification. So we are just trying to pop up a notification box as soon as the DLL has been loaded into the memory. So and then we are trying to return it through, obviously, because it is expecting us to send as a boolean value, right? So to compile this, we are having some of these the compilation flags actually. So first one is to compile the loader. Okay, so the command is g++ -o loader.exe. So we are first specifying the output file should be loader.exe, and the loader.cpp is a source code file. Okay, and then we are specifying it into -m mode of 64. So compile this in a 64-bit mode. Okay, and if I hit enter, will compile the whole binary or the code, and then we can see no errors, right? Now we need to compile the DLL main.cpp. Okay, so now to compile this DLL main.cpp, there is this particular flag, or we can say the command. So gcc plus -shared means create a shared object file. So in Linux we like have it as a libc.so, lib.so, right? So they are called as shared object files, and in Windows they are called as DLL, but we use -shared to represent it as a form of DLL. -o, as I said, the output file name will be my DLL.dll. Input file will be DLL main.cpp, which is my source file, and -mode in the form of 64-bit mode. Okay, So as soon as I enter this, this will going to compile this. Okay. Now, if I hit ls, I can see I am having the loader.exe over here and my DLL.dll. So now if I type loader.exe, I can see this pop up, right, the white boot like message box saying that DLL loaded successfully. So that means that as soon as we load this into this particular memory, right, if DLL load libraries is been loaded successfully. So before executing this also, as soon as it gets loads, so as I said over here, DLL process attached. So as soon as it attaches to that particular process, the process which the DLL main has been called to it, so it will going to pop up this particular message saying that DLL has been loaded successfully into the memory. Okay, and with this particular notification. Now this is the basic part how the DLL gets loaded into the memory. Okay, so now moving forward, I can show you like one example over here. Okay, now to show you all how exactly it gets loaded into memory, I'll show you with one some proc1 processes and all how we can see it into the memory. So for that you need to download the sys internal tool set. It is a very good tool. It is called as proc1. Okay, so it is an process monitor. Okay, it is also called as process monitor. It is like more advanced than task manager. So task manager is like basic. It shows you all the basic tasks, right, like how the things are going into the memory and all. But in process monitor you all can check what kind of the process, like what kind of Windows APIs are being called, like uh, read a file from the disk or do some edit in the registry configuration and all. Okay, so we can try to check it from that, and there are many other filters, okay, for that. So I'll just click on process monitor of sys internal toolset and then download the process monitor. Okay, you will get this zip file. So you all are very smart, just extract it and then you will get it. Okay, 7 zip extract to process monitor. Now you will get many of those. Just copy the 64-bit one. This will send to desktop, create the shortcut, and then I guess can I pin it to my taskbar. Pin to on.exe. Okay, no worries. Now coming back over here, what I'll do is that I'll come to my desktop and run this. Okay, proc 164 and click on agree. Now we can see it is loading by default the explorer.exe, right, the this particular application. Now what I'll do is that now I'll add some filters over here. Okay, so filters in the sense like we can add like particular filters to specific process and what that process can be actually. Okay, so I'll just click on erase button is there, then there are, so it loads it again and again because it is loading the whole file system of my Windows. So I'll come in this filter option, and then I can click on process name is. I can process name, right? So I click on process name is, then I can add my particular loader.exe name. Okay, so it is loader.exe. Then click on add. Okay, so I'm clicking this and click it on. So I'll exclude this. Okay, I don't need this. Click on apply and then click on OK. So currently it will not show me anything over here until and unless I'll run that particular binary, which is my loader.exe. Okay, so I'll show that here to you. If I come into my Windows file and if I click loader.exe, you can see there are many writes into the read-write operations and all. So as you can see, we have already loaded the DLL successfully. Obviously, it should load it. I click it on OK. First it created the process start, and there are, and then it will going to create a thread and all. Okay, Royal. Then it is performing every such thing like load system32 anti DLL.dll. So this DLL is used to store the Windows API. Okay, so whenever we try to include hash include like windows.h or like any kind of data file in which we require to call the Windows API, right? So it includes the anti DLL.dll. Okay, it is the main part. Okay, and then first it tries to load the image of my loader.exe, which we need to run it. Right? So now we need to search for our DLL, which is my DLL.dll. Okay, so we can just try to search it over here. Yeah, so we can see it is trying to load my image exactly at this point. So from till here this everything is actually junk, because this everything has been loaded by the kernel, or we can say the particular process which has been, it is trying to load it from or compile it from that particular GCC folder, right? So there are many other abstracts coming in middle. Okay, so you all don't need to worry about this, but the main thing is that we are trying to see the load image, right? My DLL.dll. So it is giving me the result of success, and it is also printing the image base address and the image offset size. Oh, sorry, not, yeah, the image size. Okay, so now from this we can see, like, how it's trying to load my DLL and all. Okay, so now what we can do is that where does the, like, the DLL injection occurs at the most of the time. Okay, the DLL injection, like, it occurs mostly whenever, like, whenever a process is trying to locate for that particular DLL into a particular uh, what do we say, like in a particular folder, or like at a particular location. Okay, and whenever it does not tries to find that particular DLL, okay, at that location, it tries to throw an code called as name not found or error loading well found. So such kind of errors, like, the code, we can try to, like, check whether we can try to replace our actual own DLL over here with that particular name, like like changing the name of the DLL and try to replacing it in that particular folder, like, so that whenever it tries to execute process, it will going to load my DLL instead of its legitimate DLL. Okay, so we'll also try to do over here. And the main thing is that whenever we load DLL, we can directly execute whatever code we want. As I have shown you all, the small message board. Instead of that, we can directly load the whole arbitrary code execution, or we can get the reverse shell from this system. Again, so this is the way, in this procmon sys internal tools, it is a very great tool, and there are having like many set of tools for Windows debugging, like with debug and all. So you all can have a look, and these are like many other processes which it creates by itself, so you all don't need to know more about of this. And it's also doing some register key open close for, catching, or maybe for some persistent and all. You all are getting what I'm trying to say. Okay. How you all can hunt these kind of, bugs on it. So recently one YouTuber, the John Hammond, he also posted, I guess, the video of DLL hijacking like 2 days ago. I guess it was the day before Astro Diversity. Yeah. So in that also he showed like how we can hunt it first. So I'll show you all, how we can try to do this. Now, if I try to load this again, I'll erase this, add a filter new over here, and I'll select again the process name. Process name is I guess I'm not wrong. But it's not weak, it is back. So now I'll show you one more term. So he showed that the dism.exe, okay, so it is an utility in some Windows and it is located at the system32 drive, okay. So requires root privileges to run, okay, but it still has an vulnerability in which we can try to load whatever we want exactly, because it is trying to search two files of DLL. One is version.dll and other one is, I guess, it is mscore.dll. So it is trying to fetch it from this his that particular root directory, or else it is trying to fetch it from the Windows subsystem of that particular file. So what we can do is that we can copy this dism.exe, okay, and to a particular folder, and then we can try to add the filter and check like what exactly is happening into this memory. So I am adding this filter over here, so dism.exe. So you should be sure of it, like the particular name and all. So I click it on okay. Yes, it is, and I've included. So now it is working. So now again, if I, so I guess I need to run my command prompt into administrator mode, because it requires the admin privileges, or you can say the root privileges. So if I say dism.exe, it did not load, I guess. I need to run this with the admin privileges. Okay, okay, and then just try to remove this. Getting it, I guess. Now we can see it is trying to first patch its DLL into the system 32, okay, and then it is trying to fetch some of these DLL, but we can see at some of the places we can see name not found. So now we need to patch it only for the load image, not for registry open create file, okay. So now we can see with some success error codes which like it successfully loaded the kernel 32.dll and all, okay. Now what we can do is that now we can check like name not found or path not found or invalid or something like this kind of stuff, okay. So with the regarding the particular DLL, so as we can see over here, there are some of those, but we can add filter for this also, I guess. Load images, yes, uh, check over here. We need to focus on this kind of API queries, which is load image, okay. I guess we can try to add a filter for. contains dot DLL. Okay, show me all the like the DLL loading tactics. Okay, some of those we are which are having like name not found, but we need it for only um, particular DLL. Okay, search for it. Also part of it. Leave more. Okay, at dsm4.dll we already found this. What we can do is that we can try to copy that DLL, this tism.dll into a temp directory. Like it will try to navigate through all the routes and in which it can try to load to fill that particular DLL. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll come into my folder over here. SM32 and then search for dism.exe. Just try to copy this, come to my DLL folder over here and just paste it over here. Okay. So now what I can do is that I can try to run this DLL, okay, and check whether it will going to run, but it will not going to run because it requires the root privileges. Okay. We have now got this error code over, okay, over here. But now if you see over here, already loaded in the success, but there are some the faults. I guess it was fixed in the Windows update or not, but in which we can try to load it and check whether with some argument called as not found or that particular DL is not found in that particular directory, so that we can add our own directory to it. Oh, sorry, we can add our own particular DLL, and this legitimate process will load that DLL into the memory. Okay. Remove apply. As you can see over here, you can see there is one more DLL over here called as version.dll. So it is trying to first search for that path, okay, but we can see that name not found. So now what we can do as a as a part of attacker and all, we can try to create this particular file into the directory. So now what I'll do is that I'll try to rename my DLL to this version.dll. So what will happen is that as soon as I try to load the dism.exe, it will try to load my DLL. So I can just try to show it from here, to rename it over here. Okay. So now as soon as I try to run this command, the dism.exe, oops, load. Yes, to check out for others also, like the other kind of DLL paths over here, with some other, for example, uh, the DLL also over here issues. There is one more part over here. It is called as dismcore.dl. So we can try with that also. Okay, because what happens is that, like, I'm not sure about it, but whenever a process tries to load its legitimate DLL, okay, into its particular process during the load activity A, it checks that particular hash of the DLL. So it is not been tampered on. Okay, so I guess that can be the issue for it. So we have got one more here, which is called as dism.dll. So we're going to try to load it with dism.dll first. So let's check this out. Try to run this again. So I hopefully see that it should get loaded. And now we can see we have got loaded this DLL successfully. Okay, so now from this we can okay, now also we are seeing, like, some part of errors code, one error code they have code over here. So this indicates that the DLL has been loaded, but it cannot find that particular functions which that that dism.exe is needed to do some kind of other stuffs, or to do some process handling, threading, and from this we can try to load our actual shell code into memory and get execution. So I'll also show that to you all, okay, right now. So what I'll do is that I'll try to edit this my DLL code, okay, over here. What I can do is that I'll try to get it from internet. For this, give the IP address and the port number. Is this shell code with our shell code, okay. What we can do is that we can just try to copy this whole part and another shellcode. Okay, I think we should try to generate it with the metas particle, right? I'll create the MSF Venom payload for this and try to get the reversal. Okay, search throughout the code. From this also we can execute the shellcode, I guess. This is actually the shellcode in the form of hex, which we so I'll just try to copy this and check whether these things works or not. But yeah, but for that we'll going to need this all the items in the code. Okay, come over here and just create a new file, shellcode.exe. Your CTB file, save it. Just try to compile this. Uh, shellcode.exe. Oh, error. We got a warning. So let's try to do the shellcode.exe. I think it might run something reverse shell connection out. So what I'll do is that I'll go to my parrot VM, come over here, log in inside this. So I forgot what was the command to generate the MSF console, the payload. Okay, F command to generate this. I guess hyphen p and blah blah blah. Typing over here. It for 7 is having some of those good tips and all over here, so we can use this. I guess MSF Venom Windows. Okay, what I'll do is that I'll go with GPT only. 2 user I'll just try to uh, one port. Basically I'm keeping it as a 444 for now. 25.136, and in Windows it is 29. So it is in the same network. Okay, so I'll just address, so send back call to this IP address, right? Send back call to my IP address. Generate the payload for me. Okay, let's wait. Generated the whole payload for me. So my I mean paste it over there. Right? F1 NVLP 44444. Not getting it over here. Don't know. Check it out from other web sources. Okay. There is something over here. With this we can do. It. Yeah. So I guess I can do this whole stuff. Can compile it. uh, they have used the same, okay, over here of 64-bit, which is i686, but if you all want for 32, you all can use that i386, okay, the being compiled. And they have linked this all the flags which we need right now, I guess. But I guess we can try to do with our stuff. Code 4444. I think we need to give the flags, or else it will throw. Yeah, obviously they are throwing more errors over here. Them some flags which they want. So we have successfully compiled it. Now let's try to run it, and we have and here we go, and we have got the shell. So now the main part is that now we need to do with now we need to do it with the DLL injection technique. Okay. Now what we'll do is that we'll try to exit this. Yeah, to exit this, and now we'll try to load this whole code into this particular DLL, right? So what I can do is that I can just set these values and all these kind of functionalities into my this copy all of these. I need, okay, I put the wins or std also I've included, I guess. Yeah, so just copy come over here, paste this, okay, over here. Okay. Then this nice message as soon as we load it, because after like giving the message after the full execution of the code, it will not load this message properly, okay. So I'll try to give it over here only. Say the classic one, the now it's time for loading. What we'll do is that we'll try to give my, yeah, so now we'll try to just paste whatever we got this over here. Oh, sorry. Copy all. Let's see. Now we'll just try to run this dsum.exe, and we should get a shell over here. Okay. So I'll run this, load it successfully, click it on OK, and then if you see over here, we didn't got a shell. I don't know why. Maybe we can change the port number. Okay. See, we run it on the same port, right? First, try to compile this. Okay. Put Windows.h before Windows.h. Okay. As we told, we are trying to do the same thing. We try to compile this again. We've done this. Okay. So now we are trying to load it. We are having everything ready over here. Let's see if we are trying to get a shell or not. So with this out. library, basic connect, compile it again. Okay, throwing it back. Do with this. If normally we try to load this on port 5555 with this, get the shell, right? But again, if you try to load it on the same port, I think we should get the shell, and we are getting it the shell. But the problem is with this only. The DLL might not be loading it properly or something like that. So we have loaded this particular process information and all. We have loaded this inside. What we can do is that I'll just try to copy this whole stuff. A function called as paste this thing all over this. Everything. Just call the function run maybe. I'll just share how we can do. Okay, what we can do is that I guess we can try to, instead of creating this DLL, we can try to create the DLL from our side. Okay, but it can be also done through that particular process also. But in my case, it is currently not working. I'll come. it will create this. We can create the issue because for this we require only this 64-bit architecture, but I'll just try to check it. See if I can get it from ChatGPT. Try with this, okay? Because these kind of things are very spooky. So, some code for this, okay? Over here, this video will okay, this as soon as so we can do with this stuff, okay? Okay. shell code, and then I can set it to. Let's try to do with this. Reverse shell is on the particular code which I set it to. I'll it again for my DLL main.c. Okay, I got the issue because I was not trying to, create my output file with that particular file exactly. So I'll just try to uncomment this, rename it, but instead of this, I need to rename it with dsm core.dll. Okay, it was my first issue. dsm, the same thing, dism. Hopefully we should not get any errors. Yeah, so I'll try to load the dsm.exe, and we are having now how we can do it. Okay, we'll hit enter. It's at phone, and then we're not still getting the shell code. I don't know why. What's the issue with that? Same IP, right? 75.156.44. That we are not trying to get it exactly with the shell code. You can try with that previous one. Okay, let's try to do with that only, because I think this will going to help me. Help this again. Because in previously I was not saving it with that file. I try to do with this. Okay, the IP address at the same part. Okay, over here. 14444. Come back at the regular service. 44 is there. File this DLL again with DSM core, DISM. And successfully we got the shell. So now the previously the issue was that this I tried with this also, but it was not working. But the main issue was that I was trying to compile this file again and again by storing the output file with my DLL.dll. But actually the file name was dsm core.dll. So after executing this, I successfully got the shell over here. Over here. How powerful impact of DLL injection or DLL hijacking is. Okay, and there are many other techniques in which we can we can make it more legitimate by adding the, what do we say, by making the DLL signed by by Microsoft certificate and making it very legitimate, so that the antivirus we cannot detect what is being loaded into memory now. I'll just add the message box, okay, over here. Of this I'll say to the hacker one phone, you can compile this DLL with that particular flags which we need, okay, and then try to load this over here. We should, so we need to get the shell, okay. Now we'll try to run this. We got the phone and we got the shell. So in this way we can try to exploit the DLL injection techniques and all, okay. So it is very useful one. So I know there were many jump scares and many other stuffs going throughout these videos and all. So I'm really sorry for that, because we need to debug every time why the thing is not working. So we need to go through all of the processes and all. Okay, so to desktop. Okay, so for today I guess this much is enough. So tomorrow we'll going to solve and come back to Pico City of challenges, and we're going to solve the reverse in part one. Okay, so I think that's for today, guys. So till then, take care. Bye bye.